It's October 17th, and I'm here with another episode of your favorite Not the News, Metatron News. Metatron Not the News? You get my meaning. Should I start with the good news or the bad news? It's mostly going to be good news, so I guess I'll say a little bit of bad news to start because the rest is good. And it's not news, for entertainment purposes only. So let's get the bad news out of the way. So we got a bunch of, what do we call them? I'm laughing. It's not a funny subject, but I'm laughing because of all the words that we have to come up with. So we just had some leaked text messages from some smotsies and some misogynists and some ray-rays, some racios. I don't know what the word is for that. But people who are supremacists, right? And there were actually 251 instances of derogatory language, like language that you cannot say on, the news, like FCC violations of basically slurs for people, glorification of graping of women, glorification of a certain mustache man. Right, it was bad. There was no nothing subtle about it. There was no walking around the bush. It was just really, really excessive schmatzy rhetoric by a group of 30-something-year-old red hats. And I only bring it up because I'm always the focus of Metatron News is always looking at the bigger picture and looking at the hopeful perspective, right? And I actually think this is a good thing because it's revelation. And remember I said we were going to be seeing a lot of revelation in September and October, and this is revelation. So this is people putting their cards on the table. This is the truth coming out. So people who support the circus or support the red hats, they cannot continue to say, well, I didn't know they were smotsies. I didn't know they believed in grape. I didn't know they were, anti this group and that group and that group, right? I didn't know they were ray-ray, right? You just can't say that anymore. They have come out. They have made it explicitly clear. These are party members. These are people in positions of importance. These are people, who have official roles. So I'm going to count this as a win, because know your enemy, man. And when your enemy tells you who they are, puts you in a better position. So I want to share some good news. And this first bit of good news I got from one of my mutuals. Her account is called Touched by Tarot and Beyond. And she shared this wonderful story about how Adolf Milkman and his wife are getting run out of town by chalk warriors. You gotta love the whimsy, right? You gotta love the artistic strategy and the whimsy strategy. Yeah, so apparently the people in their town just aren't really down with schmatzyism, and so they've been putting chalk art in front of the Milkman residence for so long that they put their house up for sale. Because we don't want schmatzies to be comfortable, right? In our realm, they should be comfortable here. In other good news, all that talk about missiles being flying over and toy soldier parades and how they were going to shut down one of our main freeways here in California. Yeah, that's all been canceled. There will be no freeway shutdown. So everyone can get on their merry way to the festival tomorrow. In good news across the pond, a certain royal somebody who's a lover of grape, child grape, just had to give up all his titles because of his association with the files of Epi. Okay, according to Parkhouse Permaculture, Christina, not me, came to Portland and was trying to get some footage of the war going on. And instead she got footage of a chicken man. So much for the optics. Go Portlandia. And in highly related news, non-news, we just found out that the Coldwater Car people, the QB folks, are not getting paid. Surprise! You're not getting paid. All that talk of bonuses and, student loan forgiveness and this and that. Yet, no, they don't love you either. And something close to home that's really good, not news, is USC, big university here in LA, has refused to sign the academic flashy compact that the clown, the circus is trying to get them to sign. And remember that just recently, the journalists also refused to sign the flashy compact about what they would report on. And so these are two examples of non-compliance with flashyism, and this is just so important. And in ensuing progress that's being made by various state villages that are saying, well, if the circus is in town, I guess we'll just start taking care of ourselves. And so they're forming all of these alliances, including a health alliance that now includes 15 states. Now, last I heard, it was just like California, Oregon, Washington. Now there are 15 states who are all working together. They're like, oh, it's okay. Whatever they decide over there in the Capitol, we're going to take care of our people. Oh, and there's another example of non-compliance, which is exciting. It has to do with the airports. So apparently, Christina, not me, made some little, public service announcement where she made up a story about how it was the blue hats that closed the government, and we all know it's the files of Epi that closed the government. It's the fear of the files of Epi by the circus. And so the airports, she made this little PSA video to air in these airports, and so many airports said, yeah, we're not doing the propaganda, not in our airport. And we can't stop talking about Margarine T. Greener Grass, because her revelation about the greener grass on the other side is really working out for us. She's going hard against the circus. She's talking bad. She's blaming them for the shutdown. She's blaming them for the price increases. She's really going hard against her people. I guess she's like an ex-circus person now. She was a major performer in the circus for quite a time, and now she's like an ex-clown. She's like taking off her makeup. She's looking at other costumes that she can maybe put on, because the grass is definitely greener outside of the circus. And Margarine T. Greengrass, she has realized that. And it's only good news for us. It's kind of like what's happened with Candyland. Candyland also was seeing the green grass on the other side and has been going hard against the circus, calling it an inside job. Same thing I said 2 months ago. Saying it's an inside job, and that this whole, unaliving of Chuck E. Cheese was, a setup. And so these are the people that she used to support, the circus, and she's now also, I guess, an ex-clown. So all this to say, we have a lot to celebrate, a lot of wins. We got to celebrate all the wins. And I forgot my microphone. I put it down. Oh no, it's going to be quiet in the middle of my video. I always forget to hold the microphone the whole time. Okay, we got to celebrate the wins. And we have to, we also have to celebrate the wins because we've got to raise our vibration today to prepare for tomorrow, because we're having all of these music festivals throughout the realm. There's going to be a lot of whimsy, a lot of strategic whimsy, a lot of inflated, animal costumes, a lot of musical instruments, a lot of, silliness and love and unity tomorrow. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to really be beautiful. So, yeah, life is good.